Hey subs, we're here today at Urban Jungle. We're gonna talk about doing things simple. We mentioned this in our previous video. What we're gonna accomplish today is we're gonna build a simple bioactive enclosure, something that everybody can do. It just literally takes almost no skill. It's just something very, very, very achievable that still looks great in the end. So today we're going to talk about some of the things that we're going to be using. We've got lava rock here for our drainage layer. We've got some wandering dude. We've got some wood here. We've got a Dracaena. We've got just our standard green pothos, one of our go-tos for gecko builds. We've got some leaf litter. Magnolia is what we're using today. We've got our drainage layer separation of carbon mesh screen. We have this nifty 3D printed gecko ledge made by 3D Gex. She's a local high school student around here. And she 3D prints gecko ledges and little lizards and things like that for the shop that the kids love. We've got our hygrometer and thermometer combo here. We've got our Springtails. And we've got some dwarf white isopods. Again, we're gonna be doing this on a budget here, so just keep it simple. We have some botanicals. We've got some cork bark, some manzanita pieces I have left over. Throw some color in there with some dried up orchid leaves. All right, let's begin. So we're gonna start off with our drainage layer as usual. We're gonna go about 2.5 fingers. So, you know, about 2.25 inches. Doesn't need to be super thick. Oh yeah, plenty there. I'm just gonna level it out here. We're gonna take our carbon mesh screen here. Again, always use a barrier of some sort between your drainage layer and your soil. Super important. You need the aeration, you need the separation, otherwise you just end up with like a big mushy mess, and nobody wants that. Let's build it once and build it right. So next, soil. Our soil's here, and I've pre-mixed this out of the bags. We've already cut it out of the bag and just put it into a bucket for a little easy use here, filming this. Again, we're gonna get it in there and we're gonna start with a nice even base layer. Just wanna make it simple, easy. Just booyah. There we are. So now we've got a little bit of soil in there. We're gonna start planting some plants. We're gonna go simple, simple, simple. Pothos. Looks great in every tropical enclosure. It really does. So I kind of have an idea of where I'm gonna be putting wood in this enclosure. So what we're gonna do is just plant it accordingly, right? So that's what we're gonna do. And again, we've held back soil to top it off with. We don't want to be burying things you know, right at the surface. We want to get nice deep roots in here in these enclosures. They tend to take off and start and grow a lot better. So that's, you know, just a key point there when you remember when you're building these. So we'll add a couple more sprigs of pothos here. And I grow pothos everywhere. So the shop, my house, if I could grow it in my car, I would. That's a good idea. Maybe we should be growing pothos in my car. We'll keep you updated on that. So we got the pothos in, and we are going to add a little bit more soil just to brace the pothos up here without squishing our leaf litter. And I like to build up the corners just a little higher. Tends to give some depth to the enclosure, so helps out in the end. And there we go. We're at a level now I'm comfortable with. Everything's kind of in there, like swimwear. Again, we'll just give it a quick little level. And here we have our Dracaena fragrans, and it's already planted in our soil. And we even put a little bit of drainage in there in our plants that we repot and sell as we're putting them through the quarantine process here. Just plop that guy right down there and be nice and happy. We're gonna put it at a little bit of an angle for depth. Depth is important when you're doing a bioactive enclosure. You're creating a little universe, and you know, universes have layers and dimensions, and that's what we want to create. So next, we're gonna do a little wandering dude. I've got this stuff growing in every enclosure darn near too, so. And it's got aerial roots. It's been doing great. And it'll take right off just from a cutting. And a mid to high humidity enclosure like this, so no worries there. Pothos is getting a little tangled there. We got one more here. Get him nice, happy, and planted. Now let's go with our wood. We've got some manzanita wood here. And it doesn't always have to, the wood doesn't always have to crisscross this, that way, or that way. Use your imagination, play with it a little bit. And then what we're gonna do here is we're gonna, what I like to call pose the pothos. So we want it to look natural, right? And we want it to grow around the wood. So that's what we're gonna do. And this one I think we're just gonna let grow. A little more wandering dude there. Got him planted. We're gonna top it off with some soil. And don't worry about getting soil on the plants. When you go to mist it down at the end, everything tends to work out. So you can kind of just give them a, the little flick, make sure it's all good. There we go. Level out the soil a little bit. Next is the fun part. So we are going to add our Springtails and dwarf white isopods, and that's what we're going to be using today. So here's our dwarf whites here. We're just going to give them a little sprinkle here. Try to get them in every little nook and cranny over there. Then I have some botanicals like we talked about. Just stuff I had around the shop. Orchid leaves that came out off of some of my orchids. A little bit of cork bark here and there. Extra piece of wood. Uh-oh. Some leaf litter. We're gonna just put that right in there. And that's for our isopods to, hopefully that wood rots over time and the isopods do well. They'll eat, they'll feed on it, et cetera, et cetera. Next, we're gonna add some springtails. Doesn't take much for an enclosure this size. And then we're gonna add our leaf litter. Our leaf litter today is provided by mossbox.com. Big shout out to Jacob and Chris for providing that for this build. mossboxx.com. Just kind of place them, and then I like to take a few here and there and kind of get them, you know, again, in nature. Leaves don't look like they're set, so we just want to get it looking natural. Don't forget to put leaves upside down. There's nothing worse than, oh, it's warm in here, so there's nothing worse than seeing all upright leaves in a bioactive enclosure. It's one of the things that secretly kind of irks me, so yeah. We're gonna try to make sure that there are some upside down ones, because not all leaves fall right side up in nature. It's just not how it works. So we've got our leaf litter here. And next, we're gonna do some botanicals. Nice little cork bark chunks. We'll just strategically place those. And when I walk around to the front of the enclosure, I'm obviously gonna spruce it up and primp it a little bit. We're gonna make sure that the pothos is set in a way that's aesthetically pleasing. All right, so it looks like we're done, right? Well, we're not here. So what we're gonna do is I'm gonna take a quick moment and we'll cut to it, but I'm gonna just kind of, you know, I'm behind the enclosure, so I wanna make sure that I can make sure that it's aesthetically pleasing, you know? One more piece of pothos. It's always missing something, so we just wanna make sure that the enclosure is gonna look nice and established right off the jump. The pothos is quite affordable, so it's easy to do that with. Cool. So next, we're gonna add our hygrometer thermometer combo here. Humidity and temperature gauge. It's a great thing to have in a baby crested gecko enclosure. So here we are, we're gonna add it. Now for the gecko ledge. So we wanna make sure that the gecko ledge is accessible from the gecko. The geckos can climb glass, but we also just wanna make it easy for them. They're young, they don't know. They're still figuring out life, just like me. Pretty cool. Oh, hey Sal.
What's up, dude?
I got a joke for you.
What's the joke?
What did DJ name his son?
I don't know. What do you say?
Yeah, Rick. Oh, hey, there you guys are. We're wrapping up the budget build here, and we wanted to share a little secret with you. So, a product that we use in our shop, and you know, I'm gonna plug it. This is not sponsored in any way. We're gonna be carrying this product actually because it's just such a functional, useful product, and it's a great quality product, to be honest with you. It's an Aquanit aquarium LED. This one will run $15 in the shop. It's a 12 to 18 inch extendable bar here. They're typically used for aquariums, so they're meant for high moisture environments. And yeah, just a secret from our house to yours. You know guys, today was a pretty fun build. We got right to it. We did a budget build that anybody can do, and we look forward to seeing yours. We'd love to see the budget builds you do in the comments down below. Remember to like, comment, subscribe, and come into Urban Jungle and see us. Get some ideas, hit us up in the DMs, the comments. We're here to help. Right on, dude. And the Aquanit light.
Oh, yeah.
How's it going? I like the creepy wave thing. What up, guys?
Oh yeah, look at that.
Oh, hey, there you are.
Oh, hey!
Good to see you again.
There you go.
You're gonna make a YouTube star out of me.